Why did I think this team had a shot to win at halftime? Why did I get my hopes up? Why do I keep getting my hopes up for this team? Why? Bears lose 26 to 23 at home to the New Orleans Saints in overtime. In a game that really shouldn't have gone to overtime. So let's talk about the game, I guess. The game, the first quarter wasn't really interesting. Two longer possessions that traded field goals, so it's 3-3. Nothing too much really in this quarter. Offense looked pretty good. It had a long drive. Both teams had like one drive in the first quarter, and then the Saints' second drive crossed over the quarter mark. But it was two pretty long drives, so it only resulted in field goals. So 3-3 at the end of one and two long drives. I'm fine with that. If you're able to hold the ball for like 7 minutes, that's pretty good for our offense. For the Saints, they don't really do much on their next drive that crosses over. Bears get it back, and it's 2nd and 5 with about a little under 10 minutes to go. And the unthinkable happens. The Bears complete a 50-plus yard pass. An unbelievable play. I had not seen the likes of this in like 3 years at this point. We don't do this stuff. I mean, last year we weren't even attempting deep throws. We've been attempting them this year, but Foles isn't enough time, so he either gets sacked because he has to pull it down, or it's just completely way off target. So then he finally got time. He finally aired it out deep, and Darnell Mooney comes down with it for a 50-plus yard catch. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. That was just an unbelievable play. I saw that thing go down. I'm like, oh, goodness, here we go again. And I see the ball and Mooney running towards it. And I saw it was pretty on target. I'm like, oh, my goodness, don't tell me he's going to actually catch it this time. We're actually going to have a good pass play. And he caught it. And I was just like, oh, my goodness. It's then 2nd and 9. Just a couple plays later, it's 2nd and 9. And then from like our own 25, and Foles fires to the end zone for Robinson. And, oh my goodness! What a catch by A-Rob! Oh! You gotta be kidding me! Oh, catch of the year so far. For at least our team. I don't know catch of the year in the NFL, but like that's easily the catch of the year for any Bears player. That was unbelievable. This is the stuff that's going to get him paid. I sure hope so. Pay this man, Ryan Pace. Do it. Please pay Allen Robinson. I do not want him to go because, one, this, and I really like Allen Robinson. I liked him before he even came to Chicago. I liked him in Jacksonville. And then when he came to Chicago, he instantly became my favorite player. So, one, that's for me. Two, just look at that catch. Look at it. It's fantastic. When was the last time a Bears receiver not named Allen Robinson made that kind of a catch? Can't name it? Oh, well, too bad. Yeah, sign him. Extend the man, please. I beg of you. And so the Bears are now up 10-3. Oh, I mean, that's the best drive the offense has had pretty much all year long. Nothing else really happens for a while. We keep going. Bears get the ball back, and it's 3rd and 1 with just over 2 minutes to go. And David Montgomery, there he goes. Oh, my goodness. The offense is actually doing things. We're actually getting big plays. A big run, and nearly 40 yards for David Montgomery. Easily the longest run by any Bears rusher this year. So the Bears can't punch it in, and Santos makes a field goal. It's now 13-3. I cannot believe this team. We've had an amazing second quarter. The offense is actually rattling off big plays. We have a 10-point lead. This is amazing. Let's just stop them before halftime. We have a huge, huge advantage here. What does the Bears defense do? Usually they're going to come up big. Not this time. You can't really trust your defense to do it every single time. There's going to be that time where they just let it up once and over now and again, and this is one of those drives they kind of got a little tired. A couple things just kind of didn't go their way, and Jared Cook catches a touchdown pass at the very end of the half, and the Saints narrow the lead to 13-10, but the Bears still have the lead at halftime. It's all right. Brush it off. You get the ball to start the second half. You can extend this lead and get it back up to 10 points. Let's do this. Now. Let's have a little chat here. The Bears do a couple things. They're driving a little bit at the start of the third quarter, and it's 3rd and 4. I don't know what happened here, but this is the start of a collapse. The Bears get a delay of game penalty. Nick Foles just straight up forgot the play clock. He just missed the play clock. Wow. The play clock. Charles Leno, Mr. False Start, has to point out to Nick Foles the play clock is going to expire. That's when you know it's bad. So now it's 3rd and 9. They can't do anything. They have to punt it away. Just great. So during this drive, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is covering Javon Wims, and he tears out his mouthpiece, and it goes off the ground. So he has no mouthpiece. He gets taken out. Can't really do anything about it. He was really frustrated, obviously. Not to mention, he also went inside the face mask, did a little thumb flick right on Anthony Miller, basically just instigating the team. Trying to get someone to just absolutely lash out. And he got it. Because there was also rumors that haven't been completely proven that Gardner-Johnson spit on Wims, which in this time and age, that is especially not good with whole COVID stuff. That is not good, obviously. 1, you don't do that, period. 2, especially in a pandemic where, transmission is through bodily fluids, like spit. Now, what Javon Wims does is the next time he's out in the field, he's getting covered, and then after the play's over, just walks over to Gardner-Johnson with literally no context, puts his finger in his mouthpiece, pulls it out, and then just sucker punches him once. He stands there just like, what's happening? And he just socks him again. And then just this weird, this ensuing just random skirmish just breaks out. And needless to say, Wims was ejected from the game with 2 sucker punches. And he totally deserved it. It was a stupid, idiotic decision. It was really dumb. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, you're pissed. You're pissed off. You don't do that. Because that's a 15-yard penalty, and you get ejected, and it puts the rest of your team in jeopardy. It's just a very selfish and just very idiotic act by Javon Wims. And the only plus that came out of it is that Wims is not one of our top 3 receivers. Because if we lost someone like Anthony Miller or Darnell Mooney to that would have been really detrimental for our offense, not only because we got penalties and all that stuff, because one of our top receivers got ejected. I didn't like it. I think he kind of had it coming. He was instigating the team. I mean, he even was doing stuff last year. Like, we even go back to the game last year, where C.J. Gardner-Johnson, another Saints player, had been caught on picture. It got circled around the media of them, making fun of Tariq Cohen's height. That also, I remember after that game, that really pissed me off as well, because I'm just like, the hell even is that insult? I call that the catalyst for the collapse. Yeah, the offense we kind of just did a dumb thing and, had a delay of game that just ended the drive. Yeah, that kind of, you can really say that started it, but you could have recovered from that and kept the drive going, or the next drive could have been successful. Where this is the catalyst, I would say, because it wasn't the first thing that happened, because it was the first thing affected it, but this really set the tone for how this offense was going to perform in the third quarter. Because the first play after that It's 2nd and 20, and Foles throws a pick. So it doesn't get any better. So not only does Wins get ejected and a 15-yard penalty, but the first play afterwards is a pick. It's unbelievable how all your momentum you just go away from 4 offensive plays. We hold the Saints to a field goal on that next drive. Thank good. I mean, if the defense wasn't as good as it was, there's no way that we are even in this game towards the end of the game, because there were plenty of times where the Saints offense was just rolling past us, and we just couldn't do anything until we got to the red zone, and we had to force them to kick another field goal. Another thing that I forgot to mention, actually, speaking of field goals, in the second quarter, right before the 50-yard pass, Will Lutz dinged a 27-yarder off the uprights. I don't know, man. It's, I mean, if you look at through the game, grand scheme of how the entire game played out, that played a huge factor into why that game went to even overtime in the first place. Anyways, let's stand back up because the fourth quarter, it is 16-13 New Orleans. Yeah, they had another field goal drive. They drive down with they're driving down in the fourth quarter in about 8 minutes left. Drew Brees throws to Taysom Hill for a touchdown, and it's a 10-point game. It's now 20 unanswered points for New Orleans after our just colossal collapse in I really just I don't know. I don't know anymore. At this point, I was really with how the offense strung in the third quarter and how just the entire team basically collapsed after those couple of plays. I really saw this game was going to be over. And for some reason, the Bears start showing up after that drive. Because that drive goes down right after they score the touchdown. Their drive, they kind of get into the red zone. It's 3rd and 12. He throws. Jimmy Graham is an uncatchable, or not necessarily uncatchable. He just can't catch it because pass interference. So we get another chance. 3rd and goal. Nick Foles throws to Darnell Mooney for a touchdown. I was just sitting there when that thing went in. I was like, oh my god, we're doing this again. We're seriously doing this again, where we just look like garbage in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter we're just pulling out offensive miracles. Oh my goodness. And I'm happy that Darnell Mooney was able to get another touchdown because he's looked great. And for a 5th-round pick, this is looking like an absolute steal, especially for a team that has had wide receiver issues for a long time. So we hold the Saints, and I'm just in there. It's like we're at just under 2 minutes, and it's 3rd and 8, and I'm just in there. It's like, oh my goodness, we seriously have a chance to go downfield and try and tie the game. After all hope was pretty much lost, we're seriously doing this garbage again. Nothing comes easy. You have to give me a heart attack every single game. It's 3rd and 8. It's incomplete. And it's 4th and 8. Naturally, being a Bears fan for the past, 7 years dedicated at least, I'm used to just absolutely losing these. I'm used to having it be where it comes down to 4th down, and it's pretty much over because we usually don't get those. But we end up getting it. And I'm just there's like, all right, you guys are somehow still in this game. Anthony Miller made the catch, and we continue driving down, and it's another 4th down situation. I'm just like, all right, you guys can do it. I mean, I have a feeling you're going to run it, and it's going to get stuffed. But I also feel you're going to pass it, and you're just going to have a terrible pass. But the exact opposite happens, and it's a pass play, and it actually connects to Allen Robinson. And looking at that replay, he just broke Gardner Johnson's ankles. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious just seeing the replay. And Allen Robinson just moving up, and then just Gardner Johnson just absolutely pretty much falling to the ground before Robinson made the easy catch for first down. Oh my goodness. Oh, that kind of just felt good with all the garbage that he had done earlier in the game. And then we kind of go down. It's 3rd and 19 after like a sack, and so Foles then completes to Miller for a nice gain. It gets us in field goal range. We actually have a kick. We have a shot to kick it. It's 4th and 3. I'm sitting there like, there's still time left. Do you really want to go for the better field position? This is the Bears, by the way, in terms of kicking situations. So, anyway, Santos comes out for a 51-yarder, and Sean Payton ices him. And it goes in, and my mind is having flashbacks to the double doink right now because Parkey made that first field goal, and then we all know what happened next. And then Santos drilled it from 51. Oh my goodness. I am not feeling more confident in a kicker for the Bears since Robbie Gould was here. I think I have been the most confident with Santos so far this year. He's got a 55-yarder or 51-yarder. I mean, this is going to be good. We'll be fine. I mean, we got overtime. If we can win the kickoff or win the coin toss, we got a shot. New Orleans wins the coin toss. Great. The Bears stopped them. We did it good. Now, what does the Bears offense do? They do nothing. Bears offense does nothing on their overtime possession. They give it right back to New Orleans. And as they were progressing, the chances of us winning just went down and down and down and down. They were pretty much outside field goal range, and I was like, you got to stop it right here, or else, they're in field goal range, and Will Lutz is pretty much automatic. I mean, yeah, he missed a 27-yarder, but, like, what are the chances he's going to do it again? Pretty much slim to none. So I was like, okay, you guys got to stop him here. They get a first down, and then I'm like, okay, well, it's still a longer field goal. There was a chance for him to miss it. Then Kamara bursts open, takes it inside the 20. I'm just like, yep, this game's over. This game's over. Then they decide to send out Will Lutz with 1:40 to go in overtime, which was a very weird decision because if he did somehow miss it, that would have given us an actual shot at winning the game instead of just having to settle for the tie. Doesn't matter. Will Lutz bangs a 35-yarder in and it's over. I mean, what can you do? I mean, I was expecting us to get smacked, honestly. With how we performed against the Rams, I was expecting to get smacked. They made it closer than I really expected, and they had some good moments. They had a really good second quarter. If we can continue, if the offense can look like what they did in the second quarter for more than one quarter, I think we're starting to get somewhere in terms of offensive production. But if we resort to what we did in the third quarter and just absolutely collapse, and if we have these like polar opposites, once the clock hits 0 of a quarter, a completely new team shows up, whether it be for the better or the worse, that's not a team I want to watch. I want a team that I can be comfortable in watching, that they're going to be relatively consistent throughout the entire game and not have these quarters where they're godlike, but then the next quarter they look like god awful. That looked like the offense is worse than the Jets. And it doesn't get any easier for us because we have the Titans on the road next week. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's our first trip to Tennessee since 2012 where the Bears put up 50 points. Doesn't matter. It was 8 years ago. I just wanted to mention that the Bears put 50 points on the Titans 8 years ago in Tennessee. I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool, and the Bears defense scored like a couple touchdowns. I don't know. I thought that was kind of fun to little tidbit. I don't know. I've been rambling on for way too long. I'm going to stop the video here before I go on another tangent. Anyways, if you liked the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up because, yay. If you really liked it, there's a subscribe button that you're going to want to hit. That'd be really nice if you could hit that for me. I'd love it. And yeah, I mean, if you want to tell friends, go ahead. If you want to, spread the news. The Bears are 5-3 and now losing 2. It's a battle. Next week's battle is who's going to lose 3 straight. We'll find out. Take it easy.